What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more aha. We got a treat this time. Indeed, Sofia has made available a number of things recently, and I've only just begun to sort through it, and indeed, I've been meaning to send an email in response, not just to Sofia, but a few people. As I think many of you will appreciate, there's just so much going on in the channel, and there's more and more people sending me things, and new deep dives kicking off, so it's just hard to keep track of everything and to try to get around everything. Nevertheless, for the last couple weeks, I have been meaning to start going through some of the hunting high and low bonus material which Sofia has made available. And the first track in there seems to be a demo version of Take On Me, though it seems to be given the title Lesson 1. And it's apparently from autumn 1982, so this is, a few years before their debut album actually came out. So yeah, maybe I expected to have a less fully developed sound, or perhaps a notably different sound. Again, I know Paul was in like a guitar-based band, maybe it'll have more of that kind of sound. I am curious in what ways it'll be different, because then it'll, to like reverse engineer and think of, the ways it changed and became the version that we know. And that, became an international sensation to say the very least, and remains so, 40 years later almost. So yeah, I am really curious to hear what this will sound like, and in a way it feels like another sort of coming home, going back and hearing an earlier version of the tune than the one that kicked off their first album, and which, was my single point of knowledge going into this deep dive, which has become so much more. So, big shout out to Sofia and all the AHA family. Let's listen to it. This is Lesson 1, which is apparently a Take On Me demo version from autumn of 1982.
Come on, sing after me.
Oh,
I'm happy, happy as can be. Hip, hip, hooray. Slowly learning that life is okay. Sing after me. Oh, ain't no better to be safe than sorry. So here's a kid lesson, my number one. All's good that starts well, that moves with the sun. So needless to say, I'm understanding, I'm me. Today is another day to find you like girls away. I'll be coming for your love, okay? So here's a kid lesson, my number one. All's good that starts well, that moves with the sun. So here's a kid lesson, my number one. All's good that starts well, that moves with the sun.
it's crazy. It's both very similar and very different.
Say after me, I'm happy, happy as can be. Hip, hip, hooray. Slowly learning that life is okay. I know that life's okay. I know that life's so good. I know that I can be wrong.
I love this. You've got some soul in that part.
So here's a kid lesson, my number one. All's good that starts well, that moves with the sun. So here's a kid lesson, my only one.
That's amazing. Again, it's simultaneously very much the tune that became the one we know, but very different from it. Most notably because the signature phrase and that, vocal ascent into the skies isn't there. but a lot of the lyrics were the same. Admittedly, it was more lyrically different than I thought it would be, although again, maybe I should have known going into it, given that I had a different name, which you did hear the title phrase by the end of the track. But yeah, sonically different in a way, a bit more stripped down and light. Like the final or the version on Hunting High and Low feels fuller. Like it has a bigger sound to it. But yet here, a lot of the elements were at least similar in terms of the melodic progression, although the rendering of them was different. Morton obviously going to a different place, like vocally in a couple of the lines, like going big the way he does in the Take on Me We Know, but in a more like outside the lines, like, you know, in terms of the ethos, like it sounds a little more punk, a little more like, you know, I'm gonna really like flare out, and I'm not going to worry about being like exactly like inside the line melodically or like in the pocket and so on. So it was interesting to hear the vocal delivery, like it was different than I expected. And yeah, like if anything, it sounded a little more keyboard based, not more like guitar based, or, you know, more of like a rock kind of a tune. It felt a little more keyboard and synthy, although, you know, fair to say, so does the one that we know, but just in a slightly different rendering, and one that's, again, a bit busier, whereas this was a more like pared back version. So yeah, really cool. Looking forward to it. I think there's 3 more after this, one of which is in Norwegian, so perhaps, you know, I'll get some insight on how to pronounce that. Maybe I'll just put it into Google Translate and see what it, you know, turns into in English. But either way, really looking forward to going through this, as well as other stuff that Sofia sent. I'm still like trying to get a right moment to start going back for the headlines and deadlines, so we can try to get some of the old reactions that eventually had to be muted back on there. Shout out to Dawn once again. Still going through the Unplugged album, you know, still the Live in South America. There's so much like AHA related stuff still to go through. So, you know, if anything, this is just the next phase of the AHA journey. Whereas like at the end of True North, even I was like, man, like, so the main part of the journey is over. It's like, yeah, there's so much more to go. And indeed, now that we're going through Savoy and Mags and Morton's solo stuff, you know, it just adds to it. So bottom line, lots to go. Let me know what you think of this. I will see you next time. Peace.